For most young people in Boston, it's the middle of the school year, but it's also time to apply for summer jobs. You can apply on the city's Hope Line, and to get more information about that, you can go to the city's website, cityofboston.gov. And young people from low-income families are eligible for jobs offered by ABCD. Joining us from ABCD is the Director of Youth Services, Amy O'Halloran. Thank you very much for being with us, Amy.
Hi, Chris.
Talk about the differences, because there are two different programs I mentioned here, and ABCD has a certain emphasis and I guess maybe even a bit of a difference in ages.
Sure. Youth 14 to 21 are eligible to apply at our website, summerworks.net. It's a 6-week program.
What kind of jobs are these?
Youth work in a range of jobs. We've had youth work at daycare facilities, work at hospitals, performing administrative work, arts and theater opportunities. There's quite a range of.
Arts and theater? What does that mean exactly?
We've had youth assist with the construction of sets, put together youth exhibits.
And what about the old days? We used to see kids cleaning up ballparks, things like that. It seems like there's a different emphasis nowadays.
Sure. There's certainly an emphasis on giving youth the opportunity to work and gain real job readiness skills and explore the opportunities that are out there as it relates to careers.
By the way, what about supervision on these jobs? I mean, we're not just sticking these kids someplace and saying, you know, don't come back for another 6 hours or something.
Absolutely not. Youth are working with other enrollees in the Summer Works program, and of course they also have access to a worksite supervisor who is there to provide them with guidance and support and really help them to grow and develop those employment skills.
Of course, many people might ask you, why do we need jobs programs? Why don't kids just get out there, look for a job, and work?
The unfortunate reality is that there aren't very many jobs out there. Young people are faced with a very high unemployment rate that's upwards of 45%. So we really do rely on programs like ours at ABCD to help youth have the opportunity for that first job.
Talk about the importance of having these jobs for young people who are as young as age 14. Why is that?
It's a rite of passage to get a first job, to earn that first paycheck, to gain that discipline, and have the access to supports.
Now, talk about the importance of the money, because I imagine sometimes it's just needed in the family.
Absolutely. A number of our youth are not coming home with these paychecks and going to the movies and spending it on themselves. A very large percentage of our youth bring that income home, and it's contributed to the household. It's very critical to the household.
Of course, the other thing is that at that age, that rite of passage age you mentioned, kids want to feel like they're really adults, and I guess just being able to make some money is one way to do that.
Absolutely, it's very empowering.
What about what the kids get out of the program once they're in it? Because is there any sense of what this leads to in terms of their schoolwork, or even eventually for their ability to hold down a job?
Sure, it's absolutely much more than just a summer jobs program. It's a youth development program. So as youth are participating in the program, they're not only working and earning wages, but they're also gaining access to case management, life skill development such as financial literacy or health and wellness, academic support. So it's certainly a program that extends beyond just the 6 weeks, and certainly our hope is that it does open the door for many youth to explore other career opportunities.
And one other important thing about this program is that you do work with some kids who have had some criminal background. So explain that about the limits or the opportunities too.
Sure. Youth who have been court involved are not discriminated against. They're absolutely encouraged to apply. Youth with a criminal offender record, it really just means that they may not be able to work at some facilities, but it doesn't mean that they will be denied a job.
By the way, what about the prospects for funding this year?
We're always anxious. There's the budget from the state has called for $9 million. We're very hopeful that we will get a large percentage of that.
This is the governor's budget, right?
Yes.
So, in other words, the state reps and senators, they might have some reservations. So, what would you say, just in case they have any reluctance to go along with this kind of money that the governor has in mind?
As I said, youth employment, it's far more than youth employment. It's public safety. It's a rite of passage. These youth families are relying on this money for school supplies and other household expenses. It's critical.
Now, I know the old way to apply for these jobs, you would go to one of the locations around the city, but now you can do this online.
We have moved to a 100% online application system, and that's at summerworks.net. Youth do have to register for an account with a working email. Once they get a confirmation from us, they can continue, log back into the system, and complete their application online.
By the way, is there any kind of information they should be lining up in order to fill out those forms, maybe something about family income, for example?
Absolutely. We always suggest that maybe the youth take some time and get with mom or dad or their guardian because there are a number of questions that some youth may not be able to answer without their parents' guidance.
Now, what about the way this works? There's a deadline here. Does this mean the first people who call in or fill in the information are the ones who get hired first, or what goes on?
No, we always recommend that youth apply as soon as possible, but there is not a hard and fast deadline right now, and we haven't put a deadline in place, no.
Okay, and one more time, the website, and if there's a phone number as well we can mention?
Sure, it's summerworks.net. For questions, you can call 617-348-6548, and that's our SummerWorks hotline. And of course, youth with questions are always welcome to drop by a neighborhood service center or even 200 Tremont Street.
All right, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
From ABCD, Amy O'Halloran.